What up, y'all? So, Rick Ross dropped the mixtape, which a lot of people thought was an album. But shout out to y'all. I didn't really know what to expect. I just knew that it wasn't gonna be whack, So, at the end of the day, Ross is still Ross. We know exactly what his subject matter is. I enjoy listening to this shit, but I enjoy reading the comments even more, like on like that Piff, live mixtapes. Like people just went all the way the fuck in. Like it'd be hilarious at the shit that people talk about in the comments other than the music. I think I'm gonna start a new segment. I don't know what it is yet, and no, it won't be edited. But I definitely just want to talk about make a new segment. You know what I mean? But yeah, this mixtape wasn't bad. I enjoyed the cover, even though I've seen a lot of different covers for it. Yeah, I personally think that he should have used the one with the piggy bank, with the money inside of it. I thought that was pretty, it plays on the whole black dollar situation. But of course, like I thought, we're going to have the usual suspects on here, as far as features. Of course, we know the Dream on here. He got Meek Mill on here twice. He got Wale, Gucci Man, Ho Slap, Future, August Alsina. Who else on this joint? I think that's about it. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. It starts off with Foreclosures, of course. I finally heard the record. I definitely feel like that's a good record. He chose to open it up, the project with that record. I would have chose Money Dance because to me that record hit harder. But I definitely enjoyed the beat, his flow. He was spitting, regular shit that Ross spit, you know what I mean? If you don't know what foreclosures are, then yeah, that sucks for you. But going on to Money Dance, y'all already know how I feel about that record. I talked about in the other vlog I did. If you didn't watch it, go check it out. Moving on to We Gon' Make It, definitely a kind of a conscious record for, the content he was talking about. I enjoyed the news clips in the beginning and the end of the record. I like that sample, its subject matter. Good record. Bill Gates and Money and Powder they alright, you know what I mean? It's nothing special. I definitely heard the content and was like, yeah, he can definitely come better than that as far as creating a song, you know what I mean? So it was cool. A lot of people seem to be fucking with Bill Gates for some reason, but it is what it is. Geechee Liberace. Now that to me is vintage Rick Ross. From the jazziness of the beat, the way he rolled the beat with his flow and the shit he talked about, that's the Ross that, I was hoping to get. And I fuck with that record. Icon featuring Anthony Hamilton, another side of Ross that we used to seeing, got that soulfulness on the hook from Anthony Hamilton. I like the content. And for a minute, I'm like, damn, is Ross, gonna change his whole style of music? You feel me? I'm like, It's not really conscious, but it's just the subject matter that he's talking about. I thought that was pretty deep. I mean, for Ross, that is, but I fuck with it. Now we get into World's Finest featuring Meek Mill. Now, did y'all catch the beat? Anybody? Anybody? You? Nobody? Okay. It's the Jay-Z song, Brooklyn Finest. He basically flipped the beat a little bit. And right when I'm listening to it, this is my reaction. Holy shit, because that's a classic fucking, gotta excuse me, got a little amp right there. That's a classic Jay-Z and Biggie song. For one, why would you get Meek Mill on that? On something like that. And I was like, oh, this nigga wasted a song. No shade to Meek. Meek verse was solid. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like, nigga, you keep shouting out Hove throughout the mixtape. If you could have pulled that off, to get Hove on the mixtape, I think that song would have been fucking incredible. But then you would probably want to save it for an album. But I mean, the song was cool, you know what I mean? The Brooklyn Finest little sample was cool. They both did what they did. Meek verse was surprisingly, it was cool. No shade to him. And the beat was good. Driving Nigga Crazy, basically about a chick. I definitely felt like the beat was good. The sample pushed the record over a little bit more. He had some cool lines throughout that, but it's not the most craziest record, Ross did talking about a female, but it is what it is. Basically talking about her box drives a nigga crazy. And honestly, being real, a bitch gotta have some bomb ass pussy to mentally drive you insane. I probably had 2 chicks in my life that just, yeah, that shit will make you Looney Tunes for real, for real. Moving on, Turn Your Back, number 10, featuring Gucci Mane, Meek Mill, and Ho Slab. Did this sound dated to y'all? You know what I mean? Because it's like, I'm listening to it. Meek Mill flow, that's totally sound like around the time he did at least Self-Made 2. The way he rapped, it just seemed like it was old. Now, maybe I'm bugging, but that verse seems old for Meek Mill. The concept, Gucci Mane verse, of course, it's like, now, where you get that from? It just seemed like a song that was probably for Mastermind, and he didn't put it on there, so he put it on that. And that made me start thinking, like, are these leftover tracks from a lot of these motherfucking albums you put out? We don't know. But I just definitely feel like it sounded dated to my ears, you know what I mean? But it still was a good song. Gucci Mane had a dope verse. I was very shocked at that. Like, wow. Not to say that Gucci don't have good verses, but I'm like, damn, this song damn near is almost, flawless in a sense. But it was a good record. Knights of the Templar. Good song. You know what I mean? His flow, lyrics, and a hook, was straight. You know what I mean? I definitely like that beat. That beat was like some of the most, as far as a mixtape with Ross, he took advantage of that. Speaking of that, goes into Take Advantage featuring Future. Ross basically talks about his case and everything like that, bits and pieces. You got that throughout the whole mixtape, but I thought that was pretty dope. Shocked he got Future on it, but, it is what it is. Future's been winning this year, so it was a good record. Beautiful Lie featuring Wale. It's about a female, of course, but definitely I feel like they should shoot a visual to it. You know how Ross sometimes do visuals where he do the more street-orientated records other than the ones that actually get him views and streams and all that shit. Wale had a solid verse. To me it seemed like Wale penned it. It was Wale's song and Ross added his own cadence to it. That's just me. I could be wrong, but it just definitely sounded like a Wale record. Moving on to She Wanna Fuck featuring August Alsina. It was alright, you know what I mean? Ross did a lot of name dropping and flipping names and everything like that, so it is what it is. It was alright. Bel Air. To me, it was a breath of fresh air, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah. Anyway, but the content was cool. Ross in more of his, happy-go-lucky moods and everything like that. And the song came out cool. Now, this will we get to the last bit of the mixtape. 2 Shots. I thought it was alright. People seem to be fucking with this very much. And I'm like, alright, it's alright. But who was that on the hook? I was just like, who the fuck is that? Because it's not credited on the, mixtape as far as the sites and everything. So I don't know who that is. But shout out to them. That hook was dope. And the last record, Dead Rappers. The beat with that fucking sample. Woo! That song should have been in the top 5. Like, top 5 of, the track list. But he killed that shit, and I definitely like the outro, as far as it being the last song. It was good, but it's just like, damn, nigga, that should have been like, because the beginning and end of a project always, make or break it, you know what I mean? But overall, it was a fair project, you know what I mean? I fuck with 13 of the songs. This definitely has a lot of replay value. It's a fair 7.5 out of 10, at least for me, you know what I mean? The beats selection was awesome. It definitely made up for his last album, Hood Billionaire, in my personal opinion. And beats about 7.5 out of 10 as well. Definitely, salute to Ross. He definitely did a good job with this. Do I feel he should have maybe released this as an album? Yeah, I feel people would have paid, $10 for it. It was definitely worth that, you know what I mean? So that's just what I think about it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Thanks for supporting the channel. I see my views starting to climb and more subscribers. So shout out to everybody that's, fucking with me. And yes, I'm good. I'm all right. For everybody that follow me on IG, I'm straight. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Just, I go through shit at times. But other than that, I'm out of here. 1.